Alright, let's get straight to it. We all know the name, James Bond. But how much do we really know about the man behind the myth, and the story behind the legend? Today, we're diving deep into the untold story of 007, peeling back the layers of cinema, literature, and history to reveal what truly makes Bond Bond. James Bond, yeah, 007, the tux-wearing, martini-drinking, Aston Martin-driving super spy. He's the ultimate symbol of cool, sophistication, and danger. Instantly recognizable whether he's at a glamorous casino or racing through city streets in a tricked-out car. But what if I told you that behind all the gadgets and explosions, there's a secret history that shaped the legend we know today? The Bond we see on screen is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole world of inspiration, real-life espionage, and creative twists lurking beneath the surface. First things first, Bond wasn't born in a film studio. He didn't just appear out of thin air, ready to save the world with a witty quip and a raised eyebrow. He was the brainchild of British author Ian Fleming, who actually worked in naval intelligence during World War II. Fleming's own experiences with secret missions, code-breaking, and high-stakes deception gave him a front-row seat to the world of real spies. Fleming wanted Bond to be an extremely dull, uninteresting man to whom things happened, but let's be honest, the world got the exact opposite. Instead, Bond became a magnetic force, dangerous, charming, and always one step ahead. Now here's where it gets juicy. The original Bond novels were gritty, even a bit dark. They weren't just about glamorous parties and high-tech gadgets. They explored the shadows of espionage, the moral gray areas, and the toll that a life of danger takes on a person. He wasn't always the smooth talker we see on screen. In the books, Bond could be cold, ruthless, and haunted by his own demons. He was a man shaped by war, loss, and the constant threat of betrayal. But when Sean Connery stepped into Bond's shoes in 1962's Dr. No, everything changed. Connery's performance redefined the character, blending danger with irresistible charm and a sly sense of humor. Connery brought swagger, humor, and a sense of danger. He made Bond a style icon, a trendsetter, and a fantasy figure all at once. And suddenly, Bond was a global phenomenon, fighting villains, romancing spies, and dropping one-liners like confetti. The world couldn't get enough of his adventures, and the movies became a cultural touchstone. But did you know that Bond almost had a completely different look? The casting process was intense, with dozens of actors considered, and the character's image was up for grabs. Fleming pictured him as a cold, ruthless man with a scar down his face. He imagined Bond as someone who could blend into the shadows, a true predator in the world of spies. The studio, though, wanted a suaver hero, and we got it. They transformed Bond into the ultimate gentleman spy, a man who could charm anyone and escape any trap. And let's talk about the gadgets. Those wild inventions, most of them didn't show up in the books. The literary Bond relied more on his wits and training than on exploding pens or invisible cars. They were the magic touch of Gadget Master Q, and of course Hollywood screenwriters. The films amped up the spectacle, giving Bond a new arsenal with every adventure and making Q a fan favorite. Over the years, 6 actors have played Bond, each leaving their mark. Connery was the classic. George Lazenby brought a brief but emotional take. Roger Moore made him cheekier and more playful, while Timothy Dalton and Daniel Craig brought grit and realism, making Bond bleed, both literally and emotionally. Pierce Brosnan, meanwhile, blended charm with action hero bravado. Roger Moore made him cheekier. His Bond was witty, lighthearted, and always ready with a clever comeback, making the character more approachable for a new generation. Timothy Dalton and Daniel Craig brought grit and realism, making Bond bleed, both literally and emotionally. They showed us a vulnerable side, a Bond who could be hurt, who could love, and who could lose. And with every new Bond, the character adapts. He evolves with the times, reflecting the fears, hopes, and style of each era. He mirrors the era, Cold War paranoia, 70s camp, gritty 00s realism. Bond is a living time capsule, capturing the spirit of each decade and the changing face of global threats. Bond isn't just a spy, he's a time capsule. Through him, we see the evolution of pop culture, technology, and even our own ideas of heroism. But here's a secret. Behind the cool, Bond is a man shaped by trauma, a loner who sees the world as dangerous and unpredictable. His charm is a mask, his confidence a shield against a world that's always out to get him. That's the soul of Bond that's kept him relevant for over 60 years. He's not just a fantasy, he's a reflection of our own fears, dreams, and desire for adventure. So next time you see 007, adjust his cufflinks or walk away from an exploding building. Remember, there's a whole world of secrets, history, and reinvention behind that iconic tuxedo. Every move, every line, every daring escape is built on decades of storytelling and reinvention. That's what makes James Bond more than a spy. He's a legend, a character who's survived wars, trends, and generations, always coming back stronger, cooler, and more mysterious than ever.